Welcome to the Rebel Run Sports Show. I am John Moore, joined as always by Robbie and Papa. We're getting into it now, Robbie.
We are, man. I'm trying to contain myself. I'm a little bit fired up.
Referees have something to do with it?
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
Well, we'll get started. I went out to senior night at Champ High School. And on senior night, they played Liberty from Bealton. Not a team we cover very often.
No. Champ High School, the gym that Zach Burdick built and Dom Fragala is tearing apart right now.
He's definitely tearing it apart. So on senior night, Dom Fragala, who we talked about, was on pace to surpassing and breaking some records. And the free throw record, I think he may have already broken it. I got to double check that. Yeah. But he was 10 for 10 on free throws during the game. Scored 41 points, averaging 37, 38 points a game. Ridiculous. We won't spend a whole lot of time on it because I think we already have, but you know, the season he's had has been incredible.
It's insane.
Yeah, it's fun to watch. They end up winning the game 86-79. Pretty competitive game. Good crowd out again. It was senior night, so we don't cover a whole lot of Liberty High School or teams in Bealton, but they put up a fight, but they lost.
So Zion Brown was doing his thing a little bit in that game too.
So this is what I want to talk about. Because we were a little hard on some of the guys at Champ in the beginning of the year. They're starting to play better.
Yeah.
And I think when you watch Brandon Burdick and Tyler Savage, who has 15 points, he's a freshman.
Tyler Savage, if you haven't heard it, I will say it first. Tyler Savage is going to be a star.
He's going to be a star. But you can just see the maturity of some of these young players. Yeah. And we talked to Dom last week about it. You can see the maturity of them just kind of growing up. It's pretty cool to watch. So I don't know how far they'll go in their playoff run, but they're a lot better off now than they were earlier in the season. So yeah, 86-79. That put Champ at 13-9. And congratulations to Dom Fragala. I mean, it's been a great run at Champ.
It's unbelievable. I was talking to a guy the other night. Does a lot of basketball training in the area. Shout out Tick. We were talking about him, and he just looked at me and he was like, Dom's on a different level.
Yeah.
So he's just on a different level.
It's crazy. So you were out in my stomping ground.
I was, man. I think, I think people ignored me a little bit. I think they were a little disappointed because it wasn't you out there. You know what I mean?
I'll be back, South Lakes.
That's right. I was out there. It was senior night out at South Lakes. Linda Jones, the AD over there, the DSA over there, she does a tremendous job. That place they're awesome. South Lakes is a great place to go.
It is.
It's a great place to go. The gym, it's a little surprising there's not more like Grant Hill around the gym.
Think.
You know what I'm saying? I'm not even knocking you. You know what? I'll shut up.
Yeah.
Completely useless what I just said.
It's all right. Well, Wendell Bird built that gym, and he's all over.
Yeah, exactly.
I've known Wendell Bird for a number of years. He's a very good guy.
Yeah.
We should have him on the show.
Should.
Does a great charity golf tournament I played in.
Well, I do.
Another day. Shout out to Wendell Bird.
Swinging the clubs.
Yeah, I work on my flexibility.
You're what happened to Tiger.
I'm not what happened to Tiger.
No, so I'm gonna start with the guys' game from South Lakes. I'm gonna go a little in reverse order here, but first of all, whoever puts on the music for a warm up at South Lakes, shout out to you because the playlist is great.
Yeah,
they had Redman going. They had one of my favorite songs ever, Rare Essence, Lock It. Like, there's nothing wrong with Rare Essence, Lock It. Lock It. There's nothing wrong with that song at all. When it came on, I was like, are you kidding me? Yeah, it was great. So whoever does that, they're awesome.
Yeah.
The game starts off, and WNL was, they came out on fire. Like they were playing really well in the beginning. They got a couple guys who I'll talk about that they can go. There's a senior named Nicky Miller, averages like 14, 15 a game.
Yeah.
He can play. Had 14. Colin McCullough, big dude, tough in the post. He had 18 in the game. And there's a guy, Chris Osgo, that we saw. I saw him last year play. I didn't realize that he was only a sophomore last year. Chris Osgo, he had 15 in the game. He runs the point for them. He's good. they may be a load next year.
Yeah?
Yeah, they may be a load for people next year. But they're up 16-14 after one. Second quarter, Marcus Cherry, who you talked to before the season,
Yeah.
dude just went nuts.
Man, he's good.
He had 19 at half. He was unstoppable for a stretch in that game.
Yeah.
I mean, like, he did whatever he wanted to. The only way they stopped him was there was a wet spot on the floor that he slipped on at one point. That was the only way that anybody could stop him. Yeah. No, if it wasn't for that, he might have had 25 in the first half. No, he was rolling. They couldn't do anything with him. They go up. I mean, South Lakes goes up 45-32 at half. Then the refs take over.
The refs take over.
But
Give me some numbers.
I wish this was a misprint, but I'm telling you, it seemed like even more. It says there was 90 free throws taken in that game.
90.
90.
90?
Washington lead 29-47. South Lakes 30-43.
That is insane.
The game's 32 minutes. There's non-shooting fouls.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
Like, are you kidding me? Oh, gosh. I'm sorry, but VHSL has got to do something. There's got to be something that this is, we've talked to plenty of people around the area, and, I bring it up to whoever I talk to, and they all say the same thing. No, this year there's a little bit, there's this, I don't know if reffing is down or what it is, but something's going on. Now, you can't have 90 free throws in a game.
That's crazy.
Just stay out of the game.
Yeah.
Just
let them play.
Let them play. Anyway. South Lakes is up 59-51 after three. Look like they're in complete control. WNL starts shooting a lot of free throws. They start coming back. They cut it to 4 at different points in the fourth. Damon Johnson, gutty performance in that game. Gutty performance. He finishes with 13. Speaking of the refs, there's one play he comes baseline, drives, has a beautiful drive to the hoop. Dude standing literally, he grazes like one shoulder.
Right.
The dude falls. I ain't saying it was a flop, but I'm saying he fell.
I heard it was a flop.
Yeah, you heard that too?
I heard it.
Yeah. All right, so charge. I about lost my mind on this thing. It was charge. Before I get too far, your boy Manuel.
Yeah.
That dude jumps so quick and often, like, for a big dude, it's
like
impressive.
Barkley.
It is, it's impressive. He's a big dude.
Like early Barkley.
Yeah, man, he just constantly jumping, getting up to stuff. I think he surprises people sometimes with how quick he gets up. Man, it was tough down the stretch. Marcus Cherry finishes with 26. Your boy Manuel finishes with 15. 13 from Damon Johnson. South Lakes, you need to have a hype squad cam only on Dave Kroll.
Yes.
Only on Dave Kroll. My man was getting it during that game. He didn't care who it was. The refs, the coaches, the players. Dave Kroll was getting it on everybody, man.
Who's going to tell him to stop?
It's so funny because I was sitting there and I was like, man, that big dude over there is getting into it. And then I was like, I kept looking like, is that Dave Kroll? And then it's all of a sudden hit me like, you idiot, of course it's Dave Kroll. If South Lakes has 2 dudes that size, then like they're cloning people over there. You know what I'm saying? Like something's wrong. But no, it was awesome, dude. He was hilarious through that game, but the hype squad was up. It got to the end of the game, the hype squad started leaving because the game was taking so long.
That's a hot mess.
It was, man. South Lakes goes on to win 77-73. Good job by them. I think they beat Hayfield on Friday night. Hey, man, watch out.
Yeah.
Watch out.
I love South Lakes.
It's awesome.
You would think I went there.
Yeah, you would. You would. Yeah, man. Crazy.
I'll tell you what, if Fairfax High School doesn't get their act together, we might have to rename this year the Seahawks.
the Seahawks shout out.
Yeah.
Something.
All right, so you did a doubleheader.
Did a doubleheader. I was sleeping on WNL's girls team before the game because in the pregame, like you see South Lakes, they have Coach Winter Scott over there, she's obvious, she knows what she's doing.
Yeah.
They have a set routine they go through. They have set things, just like a lot, every team's got like set drills and stuff that they do before the game. W&L was just kind of over there, just shooting.
helter-skelter?
Yeah, and I
Yeah.
was like, I don't know, this doesn't look like it's going to go well. They came out, they played well, man. It was 13-8 after one. South Lakes was up. Didn't expect it to be that close.
Yeah.
Washington Lee was 4-16 coming into the game.
Yeah.
They had a couple of players. Sydney Rude, she can play, man. She can play, and Ava Singh that plays there too. They're both. I want to say they're both. Sydney Rude's a sophomore. Ava Singh's a junior. This team may be really good next year. Their top 4 scorers are all coming back next year.
Huh.
They're going to be good. They were giving South Lakes a game early on. I mean, it was 30-26 at halftime.
Right.
South Lakes was up. Second half comes. They had a 19-8 run. Completely took the game by storm. Sparked by the great Tia Benvenuti.
She's good.
She is great.
Yeah.
Taylor Newman-Farr, senior, had 10 points, 9 rebounds in the game. Maddie Young, she's a junior. She's coming back next year, too. She had 11 and 4 in the game. She had a great drive at the end of the first half to really put them up.
Right.
Tia Benvenuti, Tia Baller. She has no idea how good she is. She's the total package. She can shoot. She can shoot from 3. She can drive. She can handle. She can get to the basket and finish. Every time I've seen South Lakes play this year, she was the best player on the floor. She's got that kind of, Chris Paul doesn't look like he's the fastest guy or the quickest guy, but he slows his defender down and then just changes speed and blows by him.
Yeah.
That's what she does. She's probably, she's way up there. She's probably the best passer I've seen this year in the girls game.
That's saying a lot.
She's a great passer. But she's also possibly the strongest guard, physically the strongest guard. Her and Indy Sanders from Herndon, they're probably the 2 physically strongest guards. So it's hard, and it makes it hard to guard them. She had 20 and 4 in that game. There was a stretch where she just completely took over. And, she's really what separated South Lakes in that game. They go on to win. But I can't say enough about Tia Benvenuti. She's only a junior. She's coming back next year.
Great name.
Yeah.
Love that.
Her and Alyssa Bertrand, who we'll see later on in the show, they play on the same AAU team. They're gonna be tough.
It's gonna be hard to handle.
Yeah, they're gonna be tough.
Rob, you had another doubleheader. Look, anytime Battlefield and Patriot come together in any sport,
you gotta be there.
You gotta be there.
You gotta be there.
And we're gonna talk about atmospheres and gyms.
Man. Well, look, we were both there for the football game this year.
It was crazy.
At Patriot.
It took us how long to get down
It was forever, man.
Road? Oh.
It was forever. But I was impressed that game with how Patriot came out, because the Patriot, and they've said it before. There's a lot of people at the school who said it before, that their hype squad has been down.
Right.
I'm gonna start with the guys game, because no offense to the guys, but the guys game was a little bit of a letdown after how great the girls game was.
Right.
No offense to the guys, but it's how great that girls game was. Man, Battlefield. You thought they were going to come out, the guys team, you thought they were going to come out, because, you're looking at their records, looking at their style, and we've seen the Battlefield guys play. They're one of the top teams. I don't care what their record says, they're one of the top teams in the area.
Right.
They come out in that game a little bit flat, and Patriot was not. Patriot was, they were right there. I think it was like a 2-point game, maybe a 4-point game at halftime.
Right.
They got to do Drake Marshall. This guy can go.
Yeah.
I didn't see him the first time I played. I don't know if he wasn't playing in the game I saw, or if he just decided to break out against Battlefield. But Drake Marshall can play. I don't even know what he finished with, but it seemed like he got every bucket in the first half. Their point guard, Ike Onwuka, he's another one. Strong guard. Just if he's going to the basket, he can finish in acrobatic ways. He's tough. Battlefield ends up winning that game. I think it was 54-48, but it was a tough game throughout. And Patriot gave them everything they could handle. Battlefield,
they're going to be a tough out in playoffs.
They are, but when you look at it, Braden Gall finished with 15 and 7. He was 2 of 5 from the 3-point line, 3 of 7 from the field. That's a good game.
Yeah.
Will Bounds,
Yeah, is he?
Will Bounds, man.
I'm telling you, man, that Rock Creek game was his coming out party.
He had 15 and 10 in the game.
He's good.
He is, man. Will Bounds can play. I'm telling you what.
He's got range.
I don't know where they find him from.
I don't know either.
But I'll take Will Bounds all day.
Yeah.
All day. Now let me get to what was the best game of the week.
Okay.
May have been the best game of the year. It was insane. The crowd for the game, the girls' game started late. So all the people that were coming, that thought they were coming in to see the guys' game, were all filing in. And like you could see as the game went on, the crowd just kept getting bigger and bigger. At one point, I was looking at like the Battlefield side, and I was like, man, there's a lot of people here. I looked over at the Patriot side, and it's the most people I've seen in the gym.
Yeah.
There was no sitting room in that place whatsoever. Even like the administration and stuff was kind of standing on the side. There was people all over the gym, like just standing on the sides.
That's awesome.
It was incredible. No way that they've ever played in front of a crowd that big before. Game was nearly 3 hours long.
Awesome. Whose fault was that?
Who you think was what was that? There were, I want to say, 68 free throws taken in that game.
Ridiculous.
A lot of non-shooting fouls also. I don't even know what, you know what? I ain't going to let the refs bring me down. That game was so good, I ain't going to let the refs bring me down. Shout out to the Battlefield and Patriot student sections. We talk a lot about the Den. They're tremendous. But the PHS Red Nation in this game were great.
Yeah.
And they were great. There's so many shots we got of people just losing their minds as things would happen during that game. It was awesome. Like, shout out to them. Also, shout out to the Patriot drum line. They were kind of sitting over next to me. They were warming up before the game and everything, so I just started recording them.
Yeah.
They became the intro to the highlights for that game.
Is that right?
Yeah, they're good, man. So I just sat there and recorded them for a while. Pretty much everybody thought Battlefield was going to run away.
Sure.
You know, their Battlefield, their girls team is really good. They were up 25-18 at half. Marley McLaughlin still wearing the mask, still getting it done. And Aaliyah Moon were really good in the game. I think they had 15 and 14 each, or you know, a piece. They were their normal selves.
Right.
Patriot was down 36-31 after 3. Alyssa Bertrand really got them going. She had 6 straight points at one time. It was like she kind of turned on a switch or something at some point in that game. She had 6 straight, got them back in the game. I mean, they're down by 2 all of a sudden, and the place is going nuts. Amanda Neck comes down, gets a pass off to Ava Pell. She scores easily at the basket, ties up the game. Place loses it. Amanda Neck is ridiculous. She was amazing down the stretch of that game. She had 12, 4, and 2 in the game. She was incredible. I've told you before, like when you watch her play, you go, that girl's going to go for a triple-double at some point. She was tremendous down the stretch of that game. Ava Pell finishes with 14 and 4. Alyssa Bertrand with 12, 6, and 3. I mean, they did a really good job of working as a team. Man, Ava Neck was absurd down the stretch. She's a soccer player. I think she's going to George Mason to play soccer. She's a tremendous athlete. Ridiculous. She hits a shot. They're down by 3. Seconds left. She comes driving down. Or no, I'm sorry. They were down by 2. She comes driving down, hits a shot, goes to overtime, sends it to overtime. They just completely owned overtime. Battlefield couldn't hit a free throw down the stretch. Yeah. I think they missed like 9 straight at one point. They were 21 of 43. I talked to Coach Mills after the game.
Yeah, that'll lose you any game.
Yeah, they were 21 of 43 from the free throw line. Probably because nobody's ever supposed to shoot 43 free throws in a game. But 21 of 43, that really kind of set them, it hurt them a lot in fourth quarter and overtime.
Yeah.
Shout out to Patriots team, though. They took complete control.
Yeah.
Maybe I shouldn't have said something about them not showing me the book earlier in the season. But
that's right.
But no, it was awesome. It was incredible. Best atmosphere I've been to all year. We had a chance. Talked to the 2 of the winners of that Patriot Battlefield game.
That's right.
Alyssa Bertrand, Ava Pell came out and joined us earlier. Take a look. Alyssa, Ava, how are you all doing today?
Good, how are you?
Good. So before we get into the game on Friday night, take me through the season a little bit. I mean, you all were 7 and 15 last year. Go to 14 and 8 this year. What has been the difference in the team?
I think like this year, we really wanted to change the program around and have a winning season. And I think playing as a team was our huge point, and sharing the ball. And our motto was this season was the time is now. So we really wanted to have a winning record and do really well in conference.
Like Ava said, our coach really focused on us being one. We did a lot of team building activities, which we have never done before, which I think really brought us closer and made us play as one rather than 5 individuals on the court, which really helped us.
Okay. Still recovering from the other night?
Yeah, I was screaming after the game.
All right. What were your before the season started? What were your expectations?
I think in conference we wanted to be 8-0. We wanted to have perfect season in conference, but it didn't always work out. But I think still it was a great win against Battlefield, and OP game we should have won. But I think overall we wouldn't have a winning season and be successful.
Like she said, our goal was just to have a winning season because Patriots, our history is a little bit of a struggle. But like she said, we were just really looking forward to having a winning season and being successful throughout not only our overall record, but our conference. Last year we didn't win any conference games, so this year was a big step up from that.
Okay. Let's talk about the win against Battlefield the other night. Take me through that game a little bit. I mean, you were down in the beginning of the game, fought back hard. Take me through that game a little bit.
I think at first we were going to go in a man, and then we decided to go in a zone to stop the drive down the middle. But we also needed to get out on the 3-point shooter, so I think that really helped us, and we had our help side strong. I think sometimes some possessions, like, we didn't convert, but we knew, like, next time we needed to convert. And I think playing as a team and passing really helped and make better plays for us.
Playing together, like she said, really helped us. We didn't play as individuals. We didn't focus on who was scoring the most, who was doing what. It was pass the ball, get open, and take the shot. It wasn't like something to where people were being selfish. And we went possession by possession. Being poised really helped us.
How great was it that it was Battlefield in that last game of the regular season in that win?
It was like we knew we wanted to win so bad, especially because it was our senior night and we wanted an upset to put them. And that by winning that game, we were in second place in the conference. So then we have home court advantage against OP, and it was just great to upset them and win on our senior night.
Okay. What do you want to focus on going into the playoffs?
I think we need to focus on just being confident, being confident as in ourselves and in our team. One thing that really changed was the fact that we really felt like we could win. Last year it was kind of iffy. It was like, yeah, the coach is telling us we're good, but can we really win going what we did last year?
Yeah. And
this year we really were confident. We saw what we had. Our players, our seniors are incredible, as I'm sure everyone knows. And so it just really helped us being confident and, knowing we could do it.
Well, what's the best part of your game? Individually, what's the best part of your game?
I think the best aspect of my game is my defense and my intensity. Okay. I really focus on, taking pride in my defense. And if you're not getting by me, I'm not letting it happen. Right. And I think that I bring kind of like an intensity to the floor. Like those 6 back-to-back points kind of gave us momentum. Mm-hmm. And I think it's just I play my part when they needed.
I think a defense as well, because I think getting stops on defense is a huge game changer to bring, because your offense will come. If you get stops and momentum changes on defense, your offense will come. And my other aspect is I like to post up in the paint.
Well, you don't just like getting stops. You like getting blocks.
Yes.
What's better, AAU season or the high school season?
I think AAU is just, they're two different things. Like AAU is much quicker and faster, we do a lot more transition, but high school is just more like playing as a team, poise, and getting stops and really helping each other and being there for each other on the court and off the court.
Like she said, I don't know if it's a hard comparison. They're two different things. AAU, you're traveling, it's really quick, and then high school, like she said, you focus on being one and just trying to get through the season successfully.
Ain't no crowds like that in the AAU game, though, are there? No. What was the after the game like? How you don't have to go, I don't want to get you all in trouble, but how was it after the game?
It was a crazy atmosphere. Like, just it started as soon as you started walking off the court. You know, Red Nation has never been that loud from a girls' game walking off the court. You know, like, their support helped us a lot. We got in the locker room and went crazy. Yeah. It was, you can tell by our voices being gone. It was quite the after-game celebration.
I think just like right when the buzzer went off, everyone was like, wow, we did it. We really played great and won together. We played as one, and it was just like celebration. We went in the locker room. People were banging on the lockers, yelling, and Red Nation was like really supportive of us that night.
That was awesome. That was the loudest gym I've been in all year. That was incredible. Well, thank you all so much for coming out. Can't wait to see what you do in the playoffs. Good luck against Osborne Park.
Thank you.
And we'll see you next time.
Okay,
Thank you for having us.
All right, great interview. Great girls over there at Patriot. And congratulations again on the win. That's
Huge win.
Huge win. So I was at Rockridge High School.
But you weren't seeing Rockridge.
I wasn't. Well, actually, I did. Let me start here. Rockridge, first time I saw them this year, not bad. They were playing Parkview, not good. To the game, huge rematch. Heritage earlier, a couple weeks ago, handed Valley their first regular season loss in 2 years. Yeah. This game was for their district championship. Game starts off after first quarter is 10-8 Valley. 10-8. This is defensive struggle. Yeah. Now the atmosphere in the Rockridge gym, I don't know what it was like in the Patriot gym. That's crosstown rival kind of school. This is neutral site, but you know it's for regular season championship. And the atmosphere was insane.
That's awesome.
Shout out to the HSS Chaos crew in the jungle. They both showed out. I mean, both sides were just insane. But I love the atmosphere. Like once we get in these tournament times where players from the other team stick around and watch the game. There was, I think that had a lot to do with how packed the gym was. There was a lot of people, fans from Parkview and Rockridge, who stuck around because they knew how big of a game this was. 10-8 after one, defensive struggle. It was like heavyweight football action going on out there. So at halftime, Heritage had the lead 18-17. Now, this is something that bothers me. Okay. And I understand why it's done. It was done against me in high school. Not to bring up my glorious high school career, but
can't help
I do every time I can.
Can't help it.
Coach Samuel Carpenter from Heritage employs what I think is the worst high school basketball strategy. Whenever I hear four corners, and it is not happening at the end of a blowout game just to kill the clock, I can't take it.
Have flashbacks?
I can't take it.
Yeah, flashbacks?
You can't have that kind of atmosphere in a high school game and then run for, at 3 minutes left in the second quarter, he's trying to hold for one shot.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, I'm so bitter.
Oh goodness.
And you're watching this game and these kids are going all out defensively. It's great. Yeah. There's rejections, there's everything going on in this game. Crowd is into it. And then buzzkill is the only way to describe what was going on there.
Terrible.
I'm done with it. 18-17 at the half. Heritage was winning.
So surprised by the low score that way.
Me too.
Yeah.
But the defense, it wasn't bad offense on either team. It was great defense. That's what you saw a lot of in this game. A lot of charges being taken, a lot of rejections. It was awesome. And he did that, and you could tell kind of, I'm not going to say any doubt was cast in the mind of Loudon Valley because they're just great. But Nick Ball had maybe his worst shooting game. Offensively, he couldn't really get into a rhythm. Good thing they got a guy named Jordan Miller on their team.
That dude's a freak, man.
So Jordan Miller ended up dominating pretty much the rest of this game. He finished with 21 points. Shout out to Duran Norris, a Valley kid that we don't talk about much. He had 14, and he was kind of the spark offensively and defensively that kind of turned the game. Yeah. And you could tell once Valley got up, they're up 34-29 after 3. Never trailed again in the game. The game's, remained competitive. Just huge big shots. Big shots on both sides. Kid Zach Garrett over at Heritage,
Yeah.
pretty good.
Yeah.
Big shot Zach Garrett. He made some big shots. Every time he knocked down a three, Valley would come back and knock down one on the other side. And you know who was knocking down those three-pointers from?
Dominic Peterson?
Dominic Peterson. He caught fire. I don't know what happened to his arm. Looked like he had a case of bleeds at some point. Nobody said anything about it. The girl I was keeping statistics next to, I was shooting. She was like, "Is he bleeding?" I was like, "Just don't say anything. Let him play." And he just starts knocking down threes. So it was great. They ended up finishing the game 59-47. Exclamation point. If you may have seen on Twitter, my man Jordan Miller dunked the ball. I was like, oh, he's trying to put this game away. Next play, the lob that I hadn't seen was, oh, this dude can fly.
Yeah. He is.
When that pass was thrown, I thought there's no way he's catching and dunking that ball. And then he caught it and dunked the ball.
I don't know. That's why I asked him, like, when we interviewed him, what happened?
Yeah.
Like, where did that come from?
Yeah. Dude, Valley wins regular season championship. We talk about tough outs. They seem like they're ready to, finish the job. But great game, man. Heritage is pretty good.
Hey, if you can hold Valley to 17 or 18 points and a half, you're doing something.
Yeah, Heritage is 19-4, so
yeah.
I mean, I feel like they're going to see each other again here shortly.
Yeah, I'm sure.
So
I'm sure.
Oh, but the atmosphere, I mean, I loved it. The atmosphere all over was great this week, so I expect to see a whole lot more of that as the playoffs kick into high gear.
Deron Norris is a tremendous athlete, man.
Telling you, man, where did he come from? They only have 5 players that scored all their points.
When you got guys like that, that's all you need. Yeah.
Oh, that was great.
Excellent week, man. We got more playoffs coming up this week.
Yep. And we can be seen in a lot more places.
Crazy.
Herndon, channel 28 on Verizon. Herndon, Cox 23.
Hey, speaking of Herndon, free Indy Sanders. She didn't win the Player of the Year in the conference. Are you kidding me?
Really?
Like, come on. We won't even talk about it.
Okay. Comcast Local Channel 28 and Ruston, Prince William Channel 2. And for Rob G and Papa, I'm John Moore, and we'll see you next week.
Free Indy Sanders.
Ken Coopwood.
Refs, you're killing the game. Stop killing the game.